Marry me. This is Jen with Jenny Demonic. How's it going? It is Saturday, and I had a request. Actually, I have had three different interesting requests that I can talk to you about. One, someone has requested, do you have a come to me formula that we can use, a quick spell that we can use whether when we work with you or on our own? And I said, yes, absolutely. And I can give you different options. And you can try this. I would suggest that you do this leading up to full moon. So you are a waxing moon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Moon Giant. I am not associated with Moon Giant, but that's where you will understand why you need to lead to full moon, because the moon is increasing in size. And symbolically, because this is a traditional little trick that I'm teaching you, symbolically, when the moon increases in size, so is your lover's interest for you. Okay, so that's the idea. So I would suggest that you do this on waxing moon. So check out when, go to Moon Giant. We are on April 18th, 2026, when I record this, as the time that I'm recording this video. And you go there, it says, oh, okay, so maybe I have to wait. I don't know where we are in the grand scheme of things here. But do this at least three consecutive nights. So you should have three pieces of papers. We'll talk about that. And then you just wait and see what transpires. And you can do this on your own, meaning without us. You can do this while you work with other people. I don't think this interferes in anything. It's not, you're not summoning an entity. This is a very, very traditional stuff. Very simple. So beginner level friendly. And I can give you different options, candle, no candle. We can talk about that. You can also do this while you're ordering the stuff with us. Speaking of stuff with us, there is a new tab now. It's called Jen's Powerful Spells, and it's only me. And many of you have already started to order there. Thank you. And it is a more cost-effective work, and it's also the type of work you probably want to do if you want me to be more aware of your case. And the established clients know that we are on the COVID, so anything that you order under general products, entity summoning, global ritual lines, hoodoo products, those are cast by multiple people. They have a regular checkout where you bring the items to a checkout, you pay that in US dollars, etc., and you bring it to your cart, and then you pay, you receive confirmation that you paid, and then you go to Aaron or the order form, etc., right? Those are cast by multiple people and typically takes us some time. Some of them never come to me, like the Morphix, for example. Some spells are cast by other people, and sometimes people come to see me on Zoom for the consultation, and they go like, Jen, you're aware of my case, and I'm like, no, because you've never really bought with me directly. So the Jen's powerful spells are actually only me. They're directly with me. I can then, if you start with me or you purchase with me directly, then I can say, okay, so for this you need more coven work, but at least I will know your case, and I will know your case once it gets back to me for report. So that's we're trying to give multiple options from multiple angles. In the Jen's powerful spells, you will find a mini reading because someone has asked for a reading. Although there are Zoom consultations, I do Zoom consultations on Zoom. I make them very affordable. I think you have the 40 minutes, you have the 80 minutes, you have all the whole 9 yards. You have checkout or regular checkout, payment links, PayPal. You have so many options there. Yet, someone had to be creative enough to message me and say, "Do you have a reading?" Okay, there's a mini reading right there. And then so if you're new and you never bought stuff with us, before you ask me if I have any binding spells, why don't you just, it's probably better if you go through our website and see what you have. Please refer to other videos where I say when you're new and you make contact with us, maybe you want to know if we are real, and we are, but I understand that if you've never bought from us, that there might be some skepticism. It's perfectly normal. But please don't tell us how much do you charge for this spell. Do you have these spells? All the spells that we have are on our website. We do not respond to queries of that kind. Do you have a reading? There are, I don't know how many consultations there are. Just use the search feature. I don't know, honestly, more than this what we can do. So for third party interference, we also have a lot of products there. If you guys are undecided as to what to do or what to purchase, you don't feel comfortable on coming on Zoom, there is a mini reading for up to 3 questions, which is posted under Jen's Powerful Spell. That's actually the first product. Or you can order a Zoom consultation, which is posted under Jen's Only. So you have a Zoom consultation with me on Zoom. And for anything else, just browse our site. For quick come to me spells, we're going to talk about that. And I do have a come to me spells in Gen Powerful Spells. And most importantly, this is important for all of you who are doing the LP666. I do have a skull spell that is traditional in Jen's Powerful Spell. And if you are on the LP666, I would strongly suggest that you look at the skull spell under the Jen's Powerful Spell, and also the C3 Obsession spell under the Jen's Powerful Spell. Because some of your little alignment problems can be fixed with that. And if you have questions, reach out to me directly. I'm talking about the clients that are currently on the LP666. Now, for those of you who like Coven products a lot, we are gonna have surprise. This is huge because that was another request that we had. We are gonna have some combos, break them up, come back to me sort of thing. So we're working on that. They're going to be starting in the next week or two. We are kind of working on a combo of break up, return to me sort of formula that can help you there, because it is true that if you are so intended you have an intention to break up the couple, and we do that, and we have achieved that many times, but you're just breaking up the couple. If you are hoping for that person to come back to me, then it's going to be different work. So someone has asked, well, but can't you just combine? And so we're working on that. So that could be for some of you. I know some of you are going to be interested in that. Anyhow, this is all the news that I have for you. This is a very, very simple spell. Very simple. So if you are a beginner and this is, if you're stumbling upon this video and you go like, gosh, who's this woman that's talking funny? I've never heard of her. Welcome to the Jenny Demonic family. We invite you to check our website. There are many products there. I am sure that one of that will fit you. One of those will fit you. I don't even know how I'm talking today. Anyhow, The first thing that you're gonna need for this spell, do you see this piece of paper? It is a white piece of paper. And apparently there's nothing particularly wrong about this piece of paper, but you see how flimsy that is? If you look through the light, you can probably see through it, right? So I want you to get a piece of paper that is entirely white, but it's also very, very flimsy. Sometimes you find it in the stores that it's even more, that is even flimsier than that. It's gonna be messy by the time we are done. But that we don't worry about that. This is something that you find. This is funny. Do you know where you can find these? You can find this at the. Sometimes you find this type of flimsy paper, very light, white, almost transparent, almost translucent, right? You can find it at the bottom of some books. They have like that one white page that has nothing on it. That's very flimsy. Sometimes though, at the end of the books, you can find those white pages that have nothing, but they're like very thick. Don't use those. Or sometimes, where like, I'm giving you cheap options. If you're buying shoes, like that flimsy paper that comes with the shoes, it's a little more greasy than this one. It's not like flat, but that will do. That will do as well. If this doesn't work, you can use toilet paper, but I would rather that you buy like you go to a store that sells papers, and you buy a very flimsy paper like this, which is what I did actually. So I then you did then divide it in a rectangle. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So we're going to work on both the one side and the other side, but we're gonna do different things on one side and the other side. Then for beginner level, then you're gonna need a piece of paper, and as I said, it needs to be sort of like translucent, sort of like very flimsy. You can see through, like if you put it through the light, it's really transparent. Okay. A perfume. I am not gonna show the brand of this perfume. Good. So the perfume that you normally use, or that, see, this is normally what I use. It's almost toward the end, right? A perfume that you normally use, or I would say, perhaps if you have been around the target of your intention, you want to use the one that the target has been exposed to. So typically that would be the perfume that you used around your target so that your target is reminded of you. A red pen mark, not particularly fancy, as long as it writes in red. You can alternatively use a blue pen mark for communication if you are in no contact with the person, but I think a red pen mark would be best here. Now, if you have watched, you don't necessarily need a red candle for this. This is optional. You can go back to the communication spells where I do the red candle, and I put the name and last name of your target starting from the bottom going up with a pin, and your name and last name starting from the bottom up. And then you would anoint it with some sort of love oil, come to me oil. You can even use in tranquil oil. You can use attraction oil. If you are in a country where these oils are not available, you can use lavender oil, patchouli oil. So there are a variety of oils that you can just rub the candle from the bottom up towards you, and then put some sugar and roll it into sugar. You don't have to do this for this, but if you want to add that extra piece, there's lots of videos where I talk about how to prepare one. It's optional, then you will put it right next to it, maybe in a dish. But this is a paper that is a standalone paper. So this is just optional if you want that extra step, but you don't have to. All you need a perfume, preferably a perfume that your target was exposed to, a piece of paper, a red pen marker, and an incantation that I will give you, which is everything. The incantation is everything. It's what you will say. And then your imagination, your power, and then you put this somewhere in the dark for 30 days. Okay? Let's start with this. I'm gonna zoom into this. So you see this piece of paper, right? In this piece of paper, we're gonna have two parts. On one part, we're going to create a cross with your name and his name, which is something that is, you've probably seen it in other videos of mine, probably in other Hoodoo videos. It's a Hoodoo piece. On the other side, we're going to do a energetic circle, which is very effective sometimes, even at drawing people out of no contact. Do not discount the power of the things that you can do on your own, because you never know. You might be a witch and not even know it. Okay? So for the purpose of this work, we're gonna use names that are invented. Like if you are Jane Doe, I'm just gonna to represent you or me. We're gonna say that I'm Jane Doe. Okay, Jane Doe is the person that wants the target. John Doe. We're gonna use John Doe to come to her. Okay, so your target's name is John Doe. So you're gonna write John Doe 7 times. This is the oldest trick on the planet. Really, it is really, really old. And I'm sure you've seen it many times. I know my clients have. Whoops. One, two, three, four, five. All right, 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? You got it. Now turn it clockwise towards you. You're gonna write your name, Jane. Don't cover the whole thing as much as possible. I know sometimes it's hard. Jane. However many times to cover the surface where your target. Typically 7 and 7, 9 and 9. But I found out that what works for me is to actually cover the name entirely, because there's a domination aspect to this. So his name, you're gonna write it either 7 or 9 times. Your name should cover his name completely, I feel. Because otherwise it's kind of pointless. Alright, so this is what you should have. And I'm sure that if you're not new to magic, you've seen this many times, okay? But that's not all. Now, you turn it around and you have this effect, right? Okay. So now you're going to write his name first. So you're gonna write John Doe. And mind you, we're gonna talk about the name, and I have other videos about this where I talk about petition and I talk about names, but I'm going to touch up upon the name, because the name of your target is not gonna be John Doe, and if you are in the United States, chances are it's gonna be John Michael Doe, because there's a middle name. and you have to be able to fit everything in everything. That's why the square is rectangular, so you have all the space in the world. And then you write Jane Doe. All right. So now this is the energetic circle. 1, 2, and 3. So draw, whoops, 3 circles around it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a Picasso. Doesn't matter really. So now you have an energetic circle, your name and his name. And here you have the classical voodoo. See how it kind of it is kind of like having the energetic single circle in the back. Some people here also put a rune. If you are familiar with rune spells, you can put a rune here, or you can put a sigil here. You can draw the sigil of Citri. I'll leave it up to you. This is, again, customizable. There are several things that you can do with it. Okay, if you draw a rune here, you will have to draw the same rune on the other side. If you draw the sigil or zephyr, you will have to be doing the same on the other side. This is why there's a rectangular shape. But I'm just gonna keep it simple. You're new, you're stumbling upon this video, you want to draw somebody to you, perhaps you want this person to come out of contact, out of no contact with you. Now you grab your perfume, really want, whoops, runs like that on one side and on the other. Just spray it, okay? So now there's the important part, because this is where the fun begins. You're going to look at the circle where you have drawn your name and his name. Now you're going to say this. I'm going to put it below, so don't worry. You're going to say this. John Doe, John Doe, John Doe, John Doe, John Doe. By moon and flame, I call your name. Heart to heart, you feel the same. Drawn by love like tides to shore, come to me and stray no more. Turn it around. John Doe, John Doe, John Doe, John Doe, John Doe. By moon and flame I call your name. Heart to heart, you feel the same. Drawn by love like tides to shore, come to me and stray no more. So what this does is it will possibly get you out of no contact if it's a non-complicated situation. Say you met someone on Tinder and you went out on a date and then this person disappeared on you. I'm talking about that kind of non-complicated situation. Turn it, once you have done, turn it towards you where the circle is visible and up. It will promote reciprocity. Heart to heart, you feel the same. So you're giving him in order to feel, or her, in order to feel the same way as you. You tell him to be drawn to you, and you're telling him that you are the only one, that there's stray no more. If this is a guy that's dating multiple people, for example, that tends to go out and explore other options, you're telling this guy, I'm your only option, okay? So one thing that you should do is turn it around 3 times clockwise, okay? And then fold it 3 times. 2, 3. This should be in a dark place. What I usually do with this, I put it under the mattress, like really not under the pillow, really under the mattress, um, just between the hard part of the bed and the mattress, right there. You keep it there, you forget about it. You keep it there. And you keep it there for 30 days. If in 30 days you typically people see movement, especially if they come to us, work with us, they see movement. But if in 30 days you see nothing, then you need to do then you need to do something stronger. Then if you haven't added a candle, you add the candle, and you watch my other videos. I don't think anyone that I taught this little trick to, they have seen some kind of movement in 30 days. So I think this is gonna help a lot of people. Let's talk about the names really quickly, because and I'm gonna use another. Let me just call this. In America, and then perhaps in other parts of the world too, we have three names, right? John, Michael, sorry, Doe, right? Try if you can. Otherwise, just go on the second line and then Jane, Michelle, Doe. As you know, this is not as simple as it looks, because some of the middle names and last names are long. So if you need to go to the second line, let's just make an example like Jane, Michelle, Whitaker. I am just using Whitaker as a made-up last name, not no reference to anyone. John, Charles, Michael. If you are in the UK, you're gonna have something like that too. I don't know. Humphrey, right? The important thing for the circle is that it doesn't have to be like super perfect, but that the names stay within the three circles. And even if you have to make it smaller, the important thing is that you have three circles and that they stay within. When you're doing the cross thing, I would say choose the very first name and last name, because traditionally, in times of hoodoo, where you write a name, like, let me give you an example here. Okay, say you have John Michael Doe, or John, what it was, John Charles Michael Humphrey. That's quite long, right? For I would just go with John Humphrey, right? And then in the back, and you write John Humphrey 7 or 9 times, and then you write your name. If your name is Jane Michelle Whittaker, for example, you just write Jane Whittaker, because that's most likely that's what you go by at the end of the day. So then for the circle, in the circle, you put the full names. You get that? I think it should be pretty self-explanatory. It is important that in the circle you put the full name of birth. It's not so important in Hoodoo. Why? Because Hoodoo is a very old tradition, and it's something so mesmerizing. Because a lot of people says, for Hoodoo, Jen, do I have to send you pictures? Do I need the name of this person or that person? That came out recently in one Zoom meeting, when somebody says, "Well, I don't have the name." If you're doing coven work, it matters, because in coven work, we're gonna need full name, pictures, date of birth if you have the full 9 yards. But here's where hoodoo is really interesting because hoodoo precedes all all the names all the names like this. Hoodoo is as old as 1100 BC. At that time, people didn't have all these names like we do today. And they didn't have features. And sometimes they just had that woman that is going around my husband. And that's what they would put in their petition. So hoodoo is sometimes for candle hoodoo. It can be much more forgiving for your purposes than modern witchcraft or modern entity summoning because we need more information, particularly when you start summoning entity. So that's a different ball game. But there are cases, and it's important, where you don't have the name of the person that is seeing your guy. It says current girlfriend is fine. But here's the thing. If you're ordering a stay with me or come to me hoodoo, those that are elaborate works, for example, the works from Diana does our hoodoo, for those you're gonna need all the information. So where do you really get away with putting all the information in hoodoo? When you use these candles. When you use these candles, and maybe black candles or two. That's where you can be creative. You write things in the candle. And in the petition paper, your petition paper being hoodoo, the hoodoo part, you can just get away by saying me and this guy. Some people in old days did not have the means that we have. This is why they used to use brown paper bag. Now we use all sorts of papers. They only had brown paper bag. If you look at the feces spell in my one of my videos, actually I think a very popular video, people back in the days, and I'm talking in the 1200, in the Middle Ages, they used to do the feces spell a lot. But they didn't have toilet paper. We use toilet paper today, but back then they had brown paper bag. So magic has evolved over time. And for some type of magic, for some type of rituals, we no longer are able to get away without having the name or without putting all the full name. And that's the case of coven work, where we have to be as specific as we can. But in some hoodoo, we can still get away with just putting a first name, a nickname, last name, you and him, or in the case of breakup work, his name and current girlfriend. Okay, unless the current girlfriend is you, in which case I wouldn't want to say that. I think that if you have further questions about this, you should book a consultation with me. I think this is all I have for you today. By the way, this little spell, I used to do this a lot when I was a teenager, and it's always worked for me. So this is really, really, really basic, and I think it will work for you too. Try it and let me know how that goes. And if you have questions about this, you can come see me or get the mini reading. Again, Jen's Powerful Spells on our site, and there will be combo coven spells that are coming up. And this is all that I have today. This is Jen with Jen in the Morning. Bye.